So the idea that I was playing with tonight was the idea of differentiating in your training energy from movements. You see, most arts focus on the movement. And the movement is good, but the energy that you put behind the movement is really what dictates the use and efficacy of the movement. And so, you don't always use the same energy for different things. In Wing Chun, we have, we have 6 forms, and each of those forms involves certain motions, and each of the forms brings in different aspects and largely plays with varying energy and footwork and stance work and whatnot. But you see, we list the names of the moves and the forms because those are the basis of kind of what we're focusing on at that level. And some of the moves are titled by the movement itself. Lap Sao is pulling hand. Pak Sao, slapping hand. But at the same time, some of the movements are not at all dictating the form of the movement itself, but rather the energy of the movement. Jump Sao, sinking hand. Jut Sao, jerking hand. And there are many, many, many others. But you see, it's useful and helpful to understand that there is a difference between the two, and how you're training, what you're training, may have a specific form or a specific energy in the form you're doing or in the technique that you're, the combination that you're basing things off of. But you should be able to play with different energies and different techniques. One of the things that that we do in our class that is incredibly intelligent, and I don't see happening too often, is we take one idea, we take one scenario, and we put a very basic idea to it, dealing with a straight punch, offlining, Pak Sao, counter strike, whatever. And then we say, okay, what else can we use besides Pak Sao? What if we use the footwork from this form instead of that form? What if we use this kind of counter strike instead of that counter strike? And we sit there and we analyze our body structure, our angle, timing, and all of that within the same structure, the same scenario. And I think it's important to be able to do that. Not get stuck in this idea of one technique, one energy all the time. That's simply elementary thought, and you have to be able to progress beyond that. You have to be able to progress to a flow state where it's really thoughtless, muscle memory, where it's what your body throws out there is simply appropriate to the situation because you understand the situation, not because you have consciously analyzed it and chosen something. That's too slow. You have to be able to react appropriately and efficiently without thought. You have to let your subconscious, your peripheral nervous system and all that take over and do what it needs to do without you sitting there taking the time to consciously calculate what's going on. I love the Sherlock Holmes movies, the new ones with Robert Downey Jr. I absolutely love them. I'm a fan of the Sherlock Holmes stories, and I think these movies are just fantastic, cynical representations of them. But that being said, the way that they show the combat scenes where he's picking apart, do this, do that, do this, here's the effect, here's the outcome, blah, blah, blah. They're showing that as this is what he sees, but you have to understand, this is not how you fight. This is not really how even Sherlock Holmes, if he was a real person, would fight. He would simply see those things and register them. They would not be conscious thoughts. Conscious thought takes too long. And so in your training, you have to be able to explore multiple options within the same scenario. Develop comfort with those multiple options. Develop an understanding of distancing and angles and timing and leverage and structure and all of that within your skill set, within the broad range of your skill set. Figure out what makes sense, what doesn't make sense, what's comfortable for you, what's not comfortable for you, and train those things so that they become part of your automatic response system. And once you do that, you will find that your ability to respond, your ability to engage an opponent will greatly, greatly improve. That's all I got. I'm going to keep it short, and I will talk to you guys later. Good journey.